Hey guys, BJ here. I wanted to bring you a mid-range Abyss deck today. This deck actually reached rank 1 on ladder. I'd previously done a Mode Abyss guide, and the mid-range deck is quite different to play. I actually think the Mode Abyss is favoured in the matchup between the two, but I do think that the mid-range build that we're going to look at today, which is quite an aggressive mid-range build, it just gives you a different way of approaching certain matchups that are really tough, and it gives you an option to kind of really go aggressive and try and end the game early. So this deck's pretty cool. It's a lot of fun. It's quite straightforward, and the games are much quicker than the Mode Abyss. So let's jump in and take a look at the deck. Okay, so here we go. So we've got 3 copies of the Devious Lesson Mummy. It's a great 2/2 at the start of the game on turn 2, but it's also really great later on because obviously this thing has Storm, which allows to play into that kind of game plan of trying to beat down our opponent. Now, Mino is also a very good tempo to play on turn 2 because if it dies, it gives you a skeleton as well for free, which costs 0. So again, in terms of like the value and being able to keep applying units on the board and applying pressure, it's really, really good. And then in a pinch in the later game, you can actually play this for 4 cost. It's got enhanced 4, and that suddenly gives it Rush and Bane, so it can actually just be a hard removal for 4, which is pretty good. The Rage of the Serpents, you really want to be drawing these late game. The point of these are to give you reach and to end the game. Then we got the Ghastly Soiree. This is a card that you really, really want early. It's just a fantastic card, sometimes like coining it out if we're going second and just deploying a skeleton straight away, and then you've kind of got your curve nicely for the rest of the mana. And if you need removal, you've got Voella on 3 instead of the... what's the unit called? It's the Rotting Zombie, isn't it, that comes out? So you've got 2 choices there on 3 between that and the Voella. I really also like playing Voella with Congruent of Entwining. For example, on like turn 8, you can play those 2 together. You can Super Evo the Congruent, and Voella's obviously ability gives it +2. Gives herself +2, sorry, and the unit as well that's Super Evo. So don't forget, like on the turns that you want to Super Evo, see if you can fit a Voella in there as well for extra value. Now, we have the Gilnelise because, like, almost every meta deck seems to be having that at the minute. Gilnelise is pretty cool because she actually, in this deck, she can give you the Sweetness of Veracity, which actually plays into the beatdown game. If you need that extra... that extra beatdown, that's really a good place for Gilnelise. Also, if you are in a bit of a race, obviously she can give you heal. Although I find that less important in this match, but certainly in certain matchups like Loot Sword, for example, that will be important. Supplicant, I really love this card. Like, I think this card's so good. Like, it's good just on Fanfare, and it's good on Evolve as well, right? Again, if you need to heal, great, but more importantly, you're using it for that tempo to kind of take over the board and dominate. Similar with Aragavi. Don't forget that if you Evo this thing, you do 3 damage to both leaders, which is, when you think about it, it's 1 point more than it would be if you just Evoed and went face. And if you're in a race where you can win, then that's always good. But if you were playing like, I don't know, Loot Sword or something, maybe you wouldn't do it. But it's obviously important to just deal the 7 damage. It can kill an Anangrea. It can kill most things at that stage in the game, to be honest. Then we got the Undead Soldier. I really love this card because it's sticky, and playing this on 6 can sometimes just cause your opponent a real headache because it's just not straightforward to get rid of. Really, really difficult to get rid of, and it's quite a big deal because say you play this on 6 and you've got the coin. Next turn, you can coin out Cerberus, and essentially you've got bodies on the board that are getting the buffs. So yeah, really nice. Similarly, you can play Olivia, and then the body that was on the board gets buffed, and it can hit face for extra damage. Now, the Congruent of Entwining is such a good 5-drop because you can play Rush, and you get 2 4/4 bodies with Rush, which is just brilliant in the mid-game. It's also an awesome target for Super Evo. You can Super Evo, you can Rush the first target, you can warp the second one. Occasionally, you can go for the extra damage if you need it. But the point is, you end up with a pretty ginormous amount of stats and a ginormous board. And again, if you can combine this with something like Voella, that board is seriously scary. So I do like her as a Super Evo target, but I also like, obviously, Cerberus as a main for the Super Evo. I would say that this deck doesn't really need to Evo. Like the Evos, you can kind of take a proactive Evo and just kind of hit something for extra damage if it's stuck on the board, or use it on a Supplicant to heal. But the Super Evos, there's quite a lot of things that like it, right? Like the Ruel and Valneric quite like it for the Storm. Olivia likes it, Congruent likes it, even Odin. So yeah, there's quite a lot of targets for the Super Evo, but my favourite's probably still Cerberus because it's just the flexibility of it and the Congruent. I think they're my main two targets for the Super Evo. Obviously, Olivia helps us with a bit of draw as well and a little bit of heal. I think 2 coppers is enough. I've seen some deck run 3, I've seen some run 1. I'm pretty happy with 2. I mean, you could run it down to 1 if you like. But yeah, overall, this deck is pretty consistent. There's lots of 3-ofs. So yeah, you tend to see the same cards game in, game out. And I think it's a pretty good deck to run on ladder right now. It's got a good shot against most things. I'd say it's like a very high tier 2 deck. So yeah, go ahead and give it a shot. And yeah, if you let me know what you think if you've been playing this deck as well. I'd love to hear like what are some of the cards that you would swap out here or swap in. But like I said, this version did reach rank 1, so clearly it's good. With that said, let's jump in some games. If you haven't hit that thumbs up, then please do, and subscribe to the channel for much more content to come. All right, let's jump on in. Runecraft.
Can we not? I wasn't built for combat.
Medium rare or well done.
A job's a job.
Okay, so we want to play the Mino for tempo here.
Please use me as you see.
And again with the Vuela.
This homework's too hard.
You know, you want to make the most of these early turns against Rune, so you can get a bit of chip damage.
Be still.
And later on in the game, I find that it's quite hard to fit some of these cheaper units in often, because you do tend to have quite a good curve all the way up, and you want to play those units. So again, playing a proactive Vuela doesn't necessarily feel bad. We've already got down to 11 health here. Obviously, we are expecting some heal and stuff, but... So because we've done well with getting them down, we are going to Evo here. We're going to Evo with Aragavi and just, yeah, get them down as low as we possibly can. They're down to 8 now. Thing's a bit annoying. Now he finds the Sagely Teachings for the heal, so back to 12. Just going to play the Entwining out here. There's an argument that we could have Evo'd just to put more pressure on the board. Especially with the Onion being able to take one out. So Norman's going for 1 barrier and 1 lot of heal. Kind of makes sense, I think. 16 heals. Putting him in a good spot here. We're going for the Screamer Diffusion play. This is always a really difficult... The barrier Norman board is always difficult for Abyss. Fortunately, we only had 1 to deal with, so we can clear the barrier with the 2 rushes, and then we can Super Evo to clear this. It's not usually a Super Evo target in that way, but kind of want him to respond, right? We kind of want to pressure him into using his Super Evos up, which he is doing here.
Never smart to play with fire.
Continue.
The trials.
Continue.
So we draw the Aragavi, and it's a nice way to kind of snipe this buffed Alan Greer. And also we can continue to do face damage by actually Evoing Aragavi. So even though he had the barrier up, the ward unit up, we could still push a little bit of damage, which is pretty cool. Unfortunately for us, yet another another teachings, another heal. So punishing, the amount of heal that they can do. And here comes Gilnelise with the last Super Evo, just to rub salt into the wound.
Chains to ash and boredom to dust. Let's toast 'em. We can
Tribulations continue.
Now I'm annoyed.
I think our opponent kind of like messed. I don't know what happened there. Like, I don't know. Obviously, he had the attack, he never made it. So Obviously, we just hard punished. Maybe he ran out of time. I'm not sure.
Can we not? I wasn't built for combat.
It's a game.
Haven is a really, really tough matchup. It's really tough. Because basically, if they get to the point where they can Benison and just kind of destroys our beatdown plan, we've got to play for beatdown in this matchup. There's no way of outgrinding Haven. So you've kind of got to finish it quick before you can get the Benison into play. I've definitely got a losing streak against Cresthaven with this deck. And we're going to just play the Gildan Elise here, just because, like I said, we've just got to maintain tempo, and we don't have the best of hands here. It's kind of like the best tempo play we could make. Unfortunately, he has got the Marwyn 4. You hate to see.
Tribulations continue.
We're gonna Gravy here and Evo. Because we're going all in on the beatdown plan, it does make sense to Gravy. Although, what I was thinking is, if he's got the 5-drop hard removal here, we get punished. So maybe we should have... The question is, did we want to do 1 less damage, but play around that a little bit better? Potentially. I think the damage is more important, because I think we just got to go all in on the beatdown plan. This is quite a sticky board for him to remove, right? Obviously, he's got things like the Blinding Faith or the Unholy Vessel. The Vessel wouldn't clear it, and you can see there the Blinding Faith failing to completely clear the board. I'm actually going to go ahead and play another one down, because if he struggles again, then obviously we've got Shadowverse, which can really help.
This starving world begs.
Interesting, he went with the Banish there because there were so many last chance or last stand abilities, so that's kind of clever on his part, but unfortunately for him, it's random and he hit the wrong thing. So we are going to go with the Cerberus player here.
Tribulations continue.
My end will never.
I did think about not Super Evo in there, actually saving it. We have got another one in hand. But now it does mean that obviously he's got another 4 damage coming his way when these two dies. When these two die. Now he plays the Madison Benison. He's forced into using it before he's got 5 things down. This is exactly what we need to be doing. We're going to kind of force him into that play. Now obviously we know there's like the temple that could come down here. So we actually chose not to Super Evo there. There's no guarantee of getting the offense ones down on the second time, remember? And we already got the real benefit of Cerberus there because we had a good board. Can't believe he's actually still on 16 though. That is absolutely crazy. So down comes Congruent. Down comes the Congruent, and he uses the Ward ability. This is what I mean with a combination with Voella. We can make an absolute ginormous board. But Cresthaven just to have all the answers, guys. Like Jean, the Unholy. You just gotta kind of like, you're just praying that they don't have it. Good thing here is the ward has hit Jean, so we can get through with Odin. And that means we put him down below 10, and the Maddening Benison's going to go off and finish him off. So being able to put that much pressure on early so that you force a Madison Benison without having the 5 crests is pretty critical in that match.
Can we not? I wasn't built for combat.
Those ephemeral dreams.
So going second, I don't mind having the double Supplicant here because we can coin out 1 on 3, for example. Play the other one on 4. And now we got the Congruent of Entwining. So this is such a lovely curve, right? 2, 3, 4, 5.
I would give anything.
And now 6 as well. Just kind of like a dream curve, really.
That's a good puppet. That's a good puppet. The curtain. Oh,
And Portal look pretty good in the early game too, so if you can keep up with them, then you know you're doing something right. So we're going to coin out here the Supplicant and just deal damage. Just great tempo play to take back the board in the early game.
Excuse me. That's a good puppet.
The entwining. Let us build the nest.
It wasn't my fault.
I'm actually going to use an Evo here because I kind of want to put a bit of pressure on him, make it harder to remove. We've got an opportunity to heal a couple of points as well.
For you, dear, I would give anything.
I'll always look forward.
And I think it paid off actually, because if you look at how he's had to respond here, he's actually chucking 2 puppets and an evolved evolving that card. Like, we're pretty happy to see it, right?
That's a good puppet.
Okay, down comes the Soprano. So now we're kind of like, the eggs are out, the clock is ticking.
I am a child of the spine.
So just 2 warded units here. Nice thing to do when there's nothing on the board, just a kind of nice proactive play. Really love this unit, by the way.
Let's do this together. I am her strongest soldier.
The entwining.
You are beneath me.
Bit of a shame that we kind of got to use the Evo in this way, but I mean, again, we're sort of benefiting from the sticky board.
That's a good puppet. My song of destruction never ends. It's okay to feel sad.
Down comes Axia. So I think because we've got the 2 units on board, we want to make use of Cerberus. And because I can't guarantee that I'll get the offensives out, I actually decide not to Super Evo. Sometimes I like to do this with Cerberus, like, because the Super Evos are so vital. Like, if you can buff 2 units, she's already kind of done enough, really. Our opponent's had enough. Okay, so against Sword, this can be a matchup where we're not actually the beatdown, right? We can race them if we get the right things, and they don't. So you got to kind of be prepared to play a little bit more as the control player at times. Like, thinking about your healing cards can be kind of important. Cerberus might have to be used to try and heal rather than to deal damage. But again, you have to be in touch with like what he's playing. Like, are you seeing him buffing Sincero in hand? That's a big thing to look out for. And how does the early tempo war go? Like, who's getting chip damage? Are you able to defend it? All these things like factor into your consideration.
Give me that. It's mine. Give me more.
So use the like looting slash there. No Sincero so far. This is really nice for the Supplicant.
Build the nest.
Kind of like the perfect answer. There's a heavy tempo match at the minute. Back and forth. Okay, we get an Evo point out of him.
Return all your plunder. Thirst for satiation. Thirst for satiation.
Okay, so keeps her alive on full health.
I am a child of the spine. And
Now I'm
build to
annoyed.
entwine.
A couple of ways we could have done that. We could have used Aragavi, to be honest, but we decided to go down this route.
Reason.
To the shores of victory.
The entwining. The entwining.
So one thing is good here is that obviously Aragavi does very well into this board.
Not all is lost.
And notice I didn't Evo there because I really don't want to be weakening myself, because in this matchup I don't feel confident that we are the beatdown.
On to the next hunt.
Okay, now we see the Sincero in hand being buffed. So and the Remnant comes out as well, right? So now we know that he's got quite a lot of beatdown in hand.
You are beneath me.
So we buff the skeleton, and then that way everything, like nothing dies basically on this board.
Squeeze you dry.
I think we're about to see Sincero. Here it comes. It's quite a good way of clearing this sticky board. It kills the units, and then he super evos and he kills the shadows. So we're down to 9. So this is where we need Cerberus to do the healing, because he's still got super evo points. So obviously Albert can do 12 damage next turn.
My end will never come.
I'll char everything to a crisp. Rip you to pieces. Rip you to pieces.
It's mine.
So much for negotiation.
Pierce through the heart of darkness. Find my blade.
Forged in steel.
Okay, so instead he goes down the Amalia route. Some of the things that's quite hard at the minute playing against Sword is there's so many different versions. You're never quite sure exactly what to play around on ladder. You're not quite sure what they're using. But what we do know is all the Super Evos are out now. So potentially this is actually a Gildaria deck. So we might see a Super Evo there. But what we won't be seeing is Albert doing 12 to face. So that's one hurdle cleared. All right, again, we're going to do the Congruent with Vuella. And we give everything rush so that we can actually clear this board. Took a lot.
My legacy. Victory
And yeah,
is yours.
with all the Evos and Super Evos used, that's it's too much for them.
Can we not? I wasn't built for combat.
Okay, so we got Rune again. And again, we are going second, so one of the things we want to think here is like, do we want to sort of like turn 4, use the coins, get Congruent out, or Aragavi? So we're just going to drop Mino here.
A job's a job.
Mino pass, Mino pass.
Fucking out.
That hurts.
This homework's too hard.
And here we go, kind of take the opportunity to coin out the Congruent and go for a very proactive turn.
Ready, Graham?
Anangria is obviously the answer.
Solidify.
We should get an Evo out of him, and we've got our Gavi to respond, I suppose.
Now I'm annoyed.
We do have to Evo because we can't just sit around waiting. We've got to try and kind of we've got to try and get some damage going.
Tear this world of yours. Coming through. Coming through.
Down comes Burgent.
Wield again, but not for good.
A proactive Evo really works for us there, though. Like knowing that he's still got to trade with the 6/6. I think we're going to go for a wide board here.
Kill the heart.
Words are futile. Words die.
Hatred abounds.
To be honest, maybe we should have just gone face. But a lot of rooms are cutting William, but obviously, of course, this guy's playing William. I think that was the thinking when we did it.
Bite the tongue.
Kill the heart.
Words are futile.
But, you know, potentially we could have done 16 damage these last 2 turns if we'd stormed. So that is a different line of play that we could have made, for sure.
My language?
Coming through. Coming through. Ready, Graham?
Right behind you, Anne.
The trials.
Continue.
And he's got the flames. Wow.
Continue.
Old school.
Bite the tongue.
Kill the heart.
Words are futile.
I think at this point I'm just thinking he's used 2 AoE. Surely he hasn't got it again. And we could set up a big Cerberus.
The trials.
Continue. Right behind you, Anne.
He finds the second Anangria. Is it a second or a third?
Trials.
Continue.
Give up.
The trials.
Continue.
Chains to ash and
Okay. He's gone with your offense.
My end will never come.
I'll char everything to a
So I think this puts him down to 9 once everything dies. Yeah, so it'll be 9 when everything dies.
I walk
Down comes Big Q on.
out of my way.
Retrieval fulfilled.
Crawl like the vermin you are.
that was a blast.
And we're down to 1 health. Oh my god. Alright, well, we're going to Cerebrus for our last Super Evo. Because he's left the 2 pups on board, we are actually obviously able to clear this. What does Cerebrus bring back?
I'll char everything to a crisp. I'll wrap you up.
We do get the offense ones, so we can put those in. And that gives us enough damage for lethal. GG. Bit of a strange one there. Maybe we should have used our 7 drops to go Storm, but there's a different line we could have played. Okay, last game. We got an Abyss Mirror.
Wow, you're just as useless as me.
So what I find in the mirror is we have to play as the aggros, the beatdown, right? Because, you know, we can see that it's a mode Abyss because he's got the faith counter up in the crests. And so therefore, you know, playing the long game is not gonna work out well for us. He's got heal. He's gonna have these Jinsekis that can heal and kill everything and deploy a big board at once. We just can't compete with that in the late game. So we are going full pedal to the metal, trying our best to produce some aggro.
Only reap on the clock.
So we're going to rush here, clear the Leah off the board. Again, there's an argument that we could have evoed there just to present the biggest possible board, but
Build the nest.
Now I'm annoyed.
The webs.
Now I'm annoyed.
so target a rotting zombie here, just so that the corpse will leave another body behind. And this is one thing that the mode can struggle with a little bit, but obviously he had the devotee in hand. Good use of an evo there to clear up the AoE.
This starving world begs for me.
So he is doing it right. Like he's really controlling the board. He's not letting us get chip damage in because he knows he can come through in the late game. He's already got his faith meter up to 7.
Words are futile. Words die.
The tribulations continue.
Chains to ash and boredom to dust. Let's toast 'em. We can
My end will never come.
I'll char everything to a crisp. I'll wrap you up.
The trials.
Now he has been quite aggressive on his evos and super evos, so we've definitely got something there. We're actually going to go with the Congruent of Entwining.
And go to entwine.
This starving world begs for me. You are
And I think we select the extra damage here.
My faith has been
Yeah.
sullied.
So that we can clear this. Just produce a giant board. And say, how are you getting rid of that? You've got 1 super evo.
Gather to us, spiderlings.
Okay, so he's just stolen our card. That's not good.
The entwining.
But he is now out of super evos.
Chains to ash and boredom.
And yeah, Gilnalise left on the board. That feels like a nice time for Cerebrus. Get a
my end will
bit of extra heal.
I'll char everything to a crisp. I'll wrap you up. You cut our thread.
The tribulations continue. No. Why?
And without the super evos, our opponent gives on up. So that's the mid-range Abyss deck, guys. There is the QR code if you want to have a go at this on ladder. Let me know what you would change or tweak. To be honest with you, I feel like the deck is pretty flawless. It's pretty much there. I mean, whether you want to tweak an Olivia or an Undead Soldier, that's up to you. But I really do feel like this is a pretty strong deck right now to be playing on ladder. Pretty consistent, and yeah, you can just, it's a bit easier to play as well than the Mode Abyss version. So hope you enjoyed that. Hit that thumbs up and subscribe for more Shadowverse, and I'll see you guys in the next one.